I'm at my grandparents' place again, home of the 1940s 2-lamp F20T12 screw-in adapter, still working perfect, along with those 1950s Westinghouse lamps. In the same room, I can show you another cool thing. This is a Sears Coldspot portable dehumidifier. I don't know when this was made, but if I had to guess, this is probably from the 1960s. Originally, my grandparents are the original owners, so this thing's been here all its life since it was brand new. It works perfect. It works excellent. It's got a capacity of 20 pints. That's 10 quarts, I guess, 10 liters per 24 hours. That's how fast it can remove the water. That's not the actual capacity of the tank. The tank itself is probably a gallon, maybe a little over a gallon. There's your humidistat control. If we go around the back, take a look at the manufacturer's plate here. It says manufactured for Simpsons-Sears Limited. That certainly dates it to no later than the early 1980s, because at that time Simpsons-Sears became known as simply Sears Canada, and the model number is C106. There's a bunch of other numbers, but I think just the C106 there is what you're looking for. And then serial number. It's at 120 volts, 60 cycles, 1 phase, 6 amps of current, and it takes 8.5 ounces of R12 refrigerant, which is the good stuff. R12 was banned in the 1990s because when it escapes into the atmosphere, it depletes the ozone layer, but it works so much better than the refrigerants used today. So I always like when I see stuff that uses R12, and the capacity is listed there, 20 pints per 24 hours. And I don't know if you can see and how much you can see in there. There's the big compressor. Oh, you can see the fan there too. Fan has an FSP motor made in the USA. I've heard of FSP before. I don't know if I said, but this thing was made in Canada, which is always excellent. So yeah, you can see the evaporator coils there, I think, if I have my parts right. And of course, if you didn't guess, this is the water tank. So this just falls out, and you can see it's taking on a bit of water. You can see there. And if you look in here, how it senses the tank is full is there's that buoyant ball there, and once it gets so high, the string it's attached to is able to lift up high enough to activate a spring-loaded switch, and that shuts it off. And that switch also activates a little red neon light right there, and that tells you that the tank is full. So if I lift the ball up with my hand here, you can see it turns that light on. So that's pretty cool. Last year, when I was here, I had this thing running, and it would fill up completely in just a few hours. This year, it's only filled up all the way through the course of it overnight last night and all day today. So evidently it's not as humid in here as last year, but I would think it would still fill up quite quickly, because according to the humidistat on the front, this thing don't turn on until you get to 75, which that's quite humid. And it turned on at 75 when I first came down here and got this thing going, but it's the next day and it still turns on at 75. So according to this humidistat, it's not getting any drier in here, even though it's taking out a lot of water. But maybe the humidistat's just old and out of calibration or wherever. Now, I don't know if you can see in there. Oh, there's ice. Oh, maybe that's why it's slow taking on water. Great big block of ice just built up right on there. Alright, let's fire it up. Now, I'll show you something cool. If you turn this off and turn it back on before the compressor has depressurized, you know what most modern refrigerant-based appliances do. They'll try and start the motor for several seconds, and then a thermal relay will kick in, and it won't attempt to start the motor again for like 10 minutes. This thing has a much quicker acting relay. If the motor doesn't start within like half a second, it kicks in, but then it tries again only 2 seconds later. So it goes on, off, and it's quite amusing. And there it goes. You can see and feel it vibrating when it tries to start the motor, so it's kind of interesting. Well, I think that's about all there is to show of the Sears Coldspot dehumidifier from the 1960s or 70s. It's a good working unit. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.